Hello everybody, welcome to my new video. Today I'm going to show you how I make a comic page from start to finish. OMG. I'm gonna show you what it's gonna look like if you don't know what a comic page looks like. I am gonna show you how I draw this. Okay, that's all. Sorry, that was a little aggressive. Okay, so the very first thing you do before you draw a page is you don't even draw yet. So the very first thing I do when I make a comic page is I open up Google Documents. Here's the Google document, okay? And I like to make it green. I like to make it green because it makes me happy and I like colors. And I make the text dark purple because I like purple and green. This is how I format when I script out my comic, okay? So first I put in the episode and the title, and then usually I like put in a little summary just so I have an idea of what this chapter is about or episode or whatever. This is the sample script that we're gonna use for this page, okay? So it's very basic. Like, I just put all the actions and details in parentheses, and then I put whoever's speaking like that. Okay, any questions? After I write out this script, then we can start drawing. Actually, I lied. We're not gonna draw yet because before you do anything, before you even breathe, okay? You have to make the draft. And basically, I have this template, so I just have this file, and then I split it up. Each box is a thumbnail of the page. So it's easier this way because when you see all the pages together, then you like see the whole big picture. Okay, any questions? You will be quizzed at the end of the class. Okay guys, question number 1, actually. What is the color of the script Google document? You know, I could make a whole video about paneling and stuff, and I don't really think I'm that good at it. But basically, you draw boxes. I can share like a few tips that I learned. Does anyone remember Mark Creeley? Is that his name? He had this tip where he said you should make your speech bubbles go in a path. For example, these speech bubbles, there's one here and here and here, and it goes in a path, so your eyeball can follow it and you don't get confused. So yeah. And also, what makes a scene more interesting is if you add like more variety to the shots, because I noticed a lot of beginner comic people, they draw like too many headshots because they're used to drawing headshots. But if you add more like full body drawings and like drawings of just like things in the scene too, like just draw a couch, like just imagine the vibes, how crazy the vibes would be if you drew a couch. Yeah. Also, sorry, I wasn't checking answers for the quiz. Everyone got it correct except that star Latrix, so you fail. So do we get a prize? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Okay, I'll draw a star for you guys. This is, that Latrix. You don't have a star. I just wanted to make sure that there's the bleed because I want to print this eventually. Basically, the bleed is like this extra amount of space that you add. It's this gray part because once you print something, they chop off the corners or the edges. Okay, so then I have a bunch of layers here, and this is going to look really confusing. Also, Clip Studio Paint has good comic making tools, so, you know, you should use it. I'm just kidding. I'm not sponsored or anything. So basically, I go to my draft layer, and then I take the page that I'm working on, and I select it, and then I copy it and paste it. I paste it into my draft. What? That's not what it. And then I paste it into my draft folder, okay? And then I resize it with the resizing tool. Then I turn down the opacity. Okay, so I have this draft folder, and basically I put the sketch in there, and I have this random layer that doesn't do anything. Don't pay attention to that. This is for the bleed. Okay, so then I have this frame layer that I made with the tool that comes with Clip Studio Paint. I create a frame, and then I take this rectangle frame, and then I just made like one really big one. And then I'm gonna go to the cut frame tool section, and then I'm going to choose divide frame border, and I'm going to just cut it up. You can just hold down shift, and then you draw. Shift is to make a straight line. And then basically I was looking at manga and stuff, and I saw that the vertical gutters, the ones going up and down, in case you don't know what vertical means, those are usually thinner than the horizontal ones. Yeah, it's kind of like how words are, you know, because it's like each row of panels is like the thing you read, you know, so maybe that's why the horizontal gutters are bigger. Okay, so after I cut up my frames, then I take this whole folder and I make it low opacity. Okay, and then I have a frame layer on top, and all I do is I just trace it, and I always make sure I use a 17 brush size. I don't know what 17 means. 17, maybe 17 pixels. Okay, so then I'm just gonna trace it, because I'm an art tracer. I'm cheating, guys. No. Okay, but basically the reason why I chase it is so my frames can look more scrungly, because you can just use the frame tool and then just have it plain. Just have your frames clean, have clean lines. Isn't this so fun? Honestly, this is like the therapeutic part. The part where I actually have to think and draw is like the most painfulest part. I finished drawing the boxes, and it seems like there are only 4 panels on this page. Oh, that's so little. Why is there so little panels? Then I'm going to add the text. Okay, this is a life hack. If you want to be life hacked, by the way. I made a template that has all these layers, and then I also just put this text thing, so then I could just edit it when I make a new page. Yeah, just like make your own template if you want, and then save it as a workable file, and then you can just duplicate it. So then I'm gonna go back to my script. I'm just gonna copy and paste it. That's the dialogue, and I'm just going to edit this. Okay, the shortcut for text is T, if you wanted to know that. What if I make a super in-depth tutorial where I just explain my every single move? Okay, so then I am going to put the tip of my Wacom my Wacom 1 tablet pen onto the tablet, and I'm going to start from the end of the sentence, and I'm going to drag it all the way to the beginning of the sentence, and then I'm going to select all of it. And once all of it is selected, it should have this kind of like highlight where it is light blue. And then after that, I'm going to press the delete button on my keyboard. Now, the delete button may be in different spots on everyone's keyboard, but what you should know is that it might say delete, but it also might just be an arrow, so. Okay, then we're gonna take our second sentence, and we're going to copy and paste it. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the next layer. Okay, by the way, I put my text layer all the way on the top. So then I have a speech bubble layer called bub. This line is expressing a strong emotion, so I'm going to add one of those spiky speech bubbles. And then one thing I learned from Starfish Face, who is a beloved YouTuber, is that you should leave space for your text. And what I mean by that is you don't want your text bubble to be suffocating your words, because then it makes it harder to read just because the lines are too close together. For example, if it was like this, that's just harder. It just doesn't look as good. Trust me. Okay? Is this a tutorial? I'm getting it mixed up again. Is it a tutorial or is it... Okay, whatever. It's a tutorial. And if you want to get really crazy, you can change the font and the text inside the bubble. If a bubble is overlapping the other layers like that, I color it in with white. I just do it on the same layer, cause why not? Why complicate things? Boom, see? There you go. Okay, now this is the most time consuming and brain powery part. Which is the line art. Yeah, so basically I have two layers for my line art. FG stands for foreground and BG. Guys, what do you think BG stands for? Both of you guys are wrong. It actually stands for... And yeah, I just separate it because it's easier to edit if I want to make changes to the background or the foreground. So yeah, I put the characters on the foreground usually. Yeah, so I gotta draw. Oh man, guys, I want to draw. I want to draw. Okay, want to know a secret? I actually hate drawing. I'm just kidding. Okay, so there's this thing in Clip Studio Paint where you can have a sub view. There's probably something like this in every art program. But basically you can put your references in here. See references. Wow! They're naked. They're half naked, so I know what they look like. Okay, welcome to me just redrawing the same line 100 million times. Also, when I'm doing the line art, I'm making sure to add a lot of shadows, a lot of dark shadows for this art style. Now you might notice I haven't drawn the face yet, and that is because I'm scared of drawing the face. But now, I'm gonna draw the hair. It's because I have social anxiety, and when I draw a face, it just makes me nervous, because then it's like someone looking at me. I'm just kidding. That's not how that works. She doesn't look like she's depressed enough. You know what I mean? What's going on? I think more eye bags. Oh my god. See, there it is. There it is. It's the eyebrows. The eyebrows were too raised. I'm locked in. I have truly locked in. Wait, I'm confused. I always add a swirl to the hair. It's my trademark, so if you ever see someone add a swirl to the hair, then they're gonna be in trouble. That was a joke, by the way. It's okay if you do that. More detail. Shall we add more detail? This is kind of unnecessary, but you know, that added a lot. That light switch, that kind of just changed up the whole scene. Who's meowing? Cat. Cat. Wait, guys, I got new stickers. Can my really cheap webcam just focus? Do you guys like it? This one I didn't draw on stream though. Okay, imagine this. I'm going to trace again because I'm a fake artist. Guys, don't tell anyone I did this, okay? We're gonna finally reach the other part of the tutorial. Guys, I just realized that the goobs are not here. There you go, I added some goobs. Oh my gosh! There, I drew 4 panels. You know, maybe I should be glad this page only has 4 panels. So here are my 3 coloring layers. And for the base, basically what I do is I take all the line art and the color layer above it, and I clip it onto the base. Because I'm going to put the base color. Yeah, you guessed it. You guessed it. So the walls are like this purple color, so I'm gonna use this previous page to sample the wall color because it's in the same room. And then I'm just gonna fill in with my bucket tool. And there you go. Everything's inside of the frames. Yippee! Okay, then I'm just going to use my character references again. And this is very important so I can sample the colors. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna do that. So again, I'm gonna put like the foreground colors, like the characters, in this layer called that's above what's gonna be the background colors. But here's my files, and then I have reference, and then here's like characters. This is a secret character. This is the home. I just took screenshots. Oh, actually, their home looks different now. They've renovated. Okay, they actually do have eye colors, but you know, that's I don't have time for that. Okay, and now Frankie is literally he's low-key the most pain in the butt to draw, cause he has so many colors and things going on. It's just annoying. Okay, I'm sorry, you're annoying. Okay, now I'm gonna go to my background layer and I'm gonna color these items in the background, kind of. Well, I guess technically these characters are also in the background, but you know what, whatever, I'm just drawing, okay? So basically, I have finished the colors now. And for the finishing touch, I am going to add this paper texture. And I'm also going to clip it onto the layers, and then I'm going to add this magical button overlay texture. It says overlay texture right here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yes, that is the finished product. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you like this new format, because I like the idea of streaming and recording a video at the same time, but let me know if you prefer voiceovers or you just don't care. So yeah, goodbye.